The disappearance of Summer Wells. 5-year-old Summer Moon Utah Wells vanished from her home in rural East Tennessee, Hawkins County, June 15, 2021.
At the time of her disappearance, she was 3 foot tall and weighed 40 pounds. Summer has blonde hair, which was cut short in a buzz cut because her parents say that she wanted to match her brothers, and she has beautiful blue eyes. Investigators said that she was last seen wearing gray sweatpants, a pink shirt, and possibly barefoot. Summer was the youngest of 4 children. She was also the only girl. She loved to be outside and play in the water and in the dirt. Although she was the only girl, she kept up with her older brothers and ruled the roost, as her parents said.
Summer was the boss of the family.
She typical girl.
When they get out of line, she'd put them in line.
She'd do her best.
She loved to play in the mud and the water and swing on her swing and enjoy dirt.
But Summer also had a girly side. She loved to dance and sing and watch her favorite movie, Frozen.
Her father said that she would twirl on the end of his finger like a ballerina until his arm would get too tired. Summer lived with her parents, Dawn and Candace Wells, along with her 3 brothers. Her grandmother, Candy, also lived on the property in the family's RV, which was about 25 feet from their house. The Wells property is located on Bend Hill Road in Beech Creek, Tennessee. Beech Creek is an unincorporated town in Hawkins County. According to Dawn, Beech Creek isn't known to be the safest place to live. They don't have their own local law enforcement, and there is said to be a drug problem and drug gangs. He also stated that there are a couple of groups of boys that act as if they are the Bloods and Crips of the hillbillies. He believes that these groups saw his family as a target. Dawn worked as a drywaller, and Candace was a stay-at-home mom. On the morning of June 15, 2021, Dawn said that he got up for work and left Candace and Summer in bed asleep.
He said he left for work between 7 and 8 a.m.
His job is located in Jonesboro, Tennessee, which is about 45 minutes away from their home. Candace said that she and Summer got out of bed soon after Dawn left. They had to take her mother, Grandma Candy, to a doctor's appointment for her knee at 8 a.m. in Kingsport, Tennessee. Kingsport is also about a 45-minute drive.
So it sounds like Dawn probably left home closer to 7 a.m. if Candace and Summer were still asleep.
Both Dawn and Candace have stated that neither one of them are very good at remembering times and stuff like that. The 3 older boys decided to stay home and play video games while their mother went to town. So when Candace, Grandma, and Summer arrive at the hospital, Candace and Summer waited in the truck while Grandma went in to see the doctor. While they were waiting in the parking lot, a 15-year-old family friend named Hunter called Candace's phone to see if they wanted to come over to his house until Grandma was done. She told him to check with his mom, and if it was okay, then they would head over there. His mom said it was okay, so Candace and Summer drive over to Hunter's house. After a bit, Grandma calls Candace and tells her she is ready to be picked up. Hunter asked if he could ride along. Again, Candace said if it's okay with his mom, then he could go. His mother agreed. After they pick up Grandma from the hospital, the 4 of them, Candace, Grandma, Summer, and Hunter, went to Walgreens to get Grandma's prescription filled. They decided to go through the drive-thru. While they were waiting in line, Candace stated that she got a phone call from her husband, Don. According to Candace, he was just calling to check in and see how everything was going.
When they got to the window, they told it was going to be 30 minutes before the medication was ready.
Candace decided to take everyone to Warriors Path State Park because it had a good place where Summer could get in the water and swim. Candace stated that they made 2 stops before going to the park. She said they stopped at a discount smoke shop where Candace and Grandma went in and bought 3 twisted iced teas, which is hard tea.
The next stop was the hippie house.
Candace went in and bought 2 Skittles-flavored nicotine vape pens. Now they head to Warriors Path State Park. When they got there, Summer went straight to the water. She splashed around and played for a while. According to Candace, she and Grandma sat on the bank and watched Summer play, while Hunter went off into the woods. But according to Hunter, he and Candace sat on the bank and each had one of the twisted teas and smoked the vape pens, while Grandma stayed in the truck and added minutes to her phone.
And let's not forget, Hunter's only 15 years old. Candace later denied this version of events.
After a bit, they head back to Walgreens to pick up Grandma's prescription. When they leave there, they go to Sonic, where they all get slushies. Then they make one more stop to the grocery store to grab a few things before going home. Candace and Grandma went in the store, while Summer and Hunter stayed in the truck and watched TikTok videos. While Candace claims they were only in the store for 5 or 10 minutes,
Hunter says in a later interview that they were in the store for more like an hour.
when they came out and got the groceries loaded in the truck, they drove Hunter back to his house and then headed home themselves. While on the drive home, Grandma took a video of Summer in the back seat sleeping on a couple gallons of milk. They arrived home sometime after 3 p.m. Summer's brother came out and helped unload the groceries and take them in the house. After this, the boys went back inside where they were watching videos on the internet, while Candace and Summer walked over to Grandma's RV to help her transfer some flowers into different pots.
Summer helped plant flowers and rearrange rocks in the flower bed.
At about 5:30 p.m., Summer reportedly went back inside their home to play with her brothers. Candace said she walked her over to the steps and hollered at the boys to keep an eye on Summer while she helped Grandma with her knee brace. According to Candace, she went back to the house in just a couple of minutes and called for Summer, and she didn't answer. She asked the boys where Summer was, and they told her she went down to the basement to play with her toys. When Summer didn't answer, Candace said she went down to check.
And Summer was nowhere to be found.
And I walked her all the way over to the porch, and I watched her walk into the kitchen where the boys were watching TV. And I told the boys, I said, watch Summer, I'll be back. And within 2 minutes I came back, and I asked the boys where their sister was, and they said, she went downstairs, Mom, to play with her toys in the playroom. I said, okay. And I yelled downstairs for her a couple times, and I didn't get no answer, which was unusual because usually she always answers me. And so I went down there to check, and she was nowhere in sight. She was just gone.
Candace reportedly called Don and told him that she couldn't find Summer anywhere. He told her to hang up the phone and call police. Candace said that she hung up her phone and threw it in the back of the truck, then ran over to get Grandma's phone to call 911, because Grandma's AT&T phone is the only one that would call out.
But didn't she just call her husband on her own phone?
Don had also called 911. He stated that he arrived back at the home before police showed up, and that Candace already had neighbors helping search for Summer when he got to their property. Don and Candace immediately believed she was taken by someone. Their property is very rural, mountainous terrain. Candace stated that Summer wasn't the type of kid to just walk off.
They had told her of the danger that could be out in the woods, such as snakes, bugs, coyotes, and even bears.
There is one door leading out from the basement where Summer was last seen. She would have had to have exited through that door in order for no one to have seen her. Dawn and Candace are very adamant that there is no way that Summer would have just walked off the property by herself. There was an official missing persons report made to the Hawkins County Police Department at 6:30 p.m. on June 15, 2021.
The day of the search, there was between 60 and 80 people assisting, including
Church Hill Rescue Squad, Hawkins County EMA and EMS, Hawkins County E911, Hawkins County Sheriff's Office, and the Goshing Valley Volunteer Fire Department. There were also cadaver dogs brought in, hoping they would catch Summer's scent. The dogs did pick up Summer's scent from the back door, down a path that led to the main road, where the scent was lost.
And I didn't know the dogs even had a trail down through here till the police dogs followed it all the way to the road.
Will says he overheard authorities say search dogs followed Summer's scent down the trail to the road before losing it. He painted a vivid picture of a kidnapping, telling me a neighbor likely heard Summer scream.
I think whoever grabbed her probably had her mouth covered, and I think she was gasping for air by the time she got down through here somewhere, because our neighbor heard a scream, a really funny scream. I think they just carried her to a vehicle and threw her in there and took her somewhere far away from here.
The Tennessee Bureau of Investigation were immediately put on the case. At midnight on June 16th, the TBI released an endangered child alert for Summer. Shortly after 11 a.m. on June 16th, the TBI changed the endangered child alert to an Amber Alert. An endangered child alert is issued when there is a concern for the child's safety, while an Amber Alert is reserved for the most serious of missing children's cases, where officials believe the child is in imminent danger. Search teams stated that the steep and dangerous terrain, including dense canopy coverage and ground cover, were making the search very difficult. Poor cell service was also an issue with them communicating with one another. The TBI tweeted that as of the evening of June 17, 2021, teams have searched more than 680 acres, and Summer Wells is still missing. We continue to urge residents who live near Ben Hill Road to check their trail and surveillance cameras for videos or photos of Summer. On June 22nd, 1 week after Summer's disappearance, the TBI reported receiving at least 221 tips.
Investigators continue to press residents to check their barns and crawl spaces for places that a child might hide.
Specialized searches in the Beech Creek community continued. They set up roadblocks to ask drivers if they noticed anything unusual on the day Summer went missing. June 26th, the TBI asked for the driver of a Toyota pickup truck to come forward after a witness reported seeing it in the area in the late afternoon of June 14th or 15th.
They hoped maybe this person saw something related to Summer's disappearance.
The truck was described as a 1998 to 2000 maroon or red Toyota Tacoma with a ladder rack for a larger truck, along with white buckets in the truck bed. As of now, the driver has not been found. To this day, Dawn and Candace still believe that Summer was taken from their home. But police say there is no evidence of an abduction or forced entry. There was a podcaster that Candace let come out and do a walkthrough of their home. When you walk through the front door, there is kind of a family room with a TV and the boys' bunk beds. Then, when you pass through the kitchen area, there is a somewhat hidden crawl space that leads down to the basement. They have to turn around backwards and back down the stairs. Once down there, it opens up to the master bedroom, where Dawn and Candace sleep. Summer's room is attached to theirs, but they say most of the time she just sleeps with them. This is also where the door is located that leads outside. Nearby neighbors reported hearing strange screams coming from the Wells property leading up to the day of her disappearance. They made this report soon after they heard Summer had went missing.
They described the sound as being animalistic, but not coming from an animal.
They stated that they also remembered hearing a truck door slam, but dismissed it as probably one of the parents coming home. The TBI interviewed them and felt that this was not related to Summer's case. 6 weeks after Summer went missing, her 3 older brothers have since been removed from the home by CPS. It has not been confirmed why, but Don talked about it in an interview. He said that Summer's disappearance just took a huge toll on the entire family. There has been a lot of speculation that Dawn and Candace had something to do with Summer going missing. and with the accusations, it got really hard on him and he began drinking more. He believed that the environment was becoming unsafe for the boys, and he felt like they were better off not being in the home. He stated in an interview that the speculation and stress over his missing daughter had destabilized him.
Even though Don claimed he had stopped drinking, he got arrested for DUI in October 2021.
He stated that he took a few shots and that he and Candace got into an argument and he took the bottle from her and left it in his truck. He got pulled over after running off the road and was taken to jail. This wasn't Don's first run-in with the law. There had been other instances of domestic disputes between he and Candace. She had actually had an order of protection put in place for her and the kids against Don, and he was arrested in October 2020.
She dropped the order of protection just 2 months before Summer went missing.
After searches on land, air, and water, investigators came up with nothing that got them any closer to finding Summer. The Wells property has been searched numerous times, along with the house, outhouses, cars, and barrels. Any neighbor and known registered sex offenders have been interviewed as well, and nothing was found. Don and Candace continue to claim that their daughter was abducted.
Well, whoever has my daughter, I pray and hope that they have not harmed her and they bring her back to us safe and sound.
They suspected a few people, including someone Don had recently fired from his job. But police interviewed these people, but this didn't turn up any new leads. The Hawkins County Sheriff has stated that this case is nowhere near cold, and everybody is still considered a person of interest. Don Wells expressed little hope that Summer is still alive.
If it was my child, I know that I could never give up hope. But I guess we all handle things a little differently.
Just over a year after Summer went missing, Don was in jail for violation of probation charges not related to his daughter's disappearance. He released a letter addressed to the person or persons responsible. The letter reads, "To the person or persons responsible for kidnapping Summer, not only have you broken Summer's heart and taken her away from her mother and father, who love her very much, but you ruined her chances to become educated, ruining her life. You have also broken the hearts of her father and mother and brothers, and in the midst of all the commotion, ruined our lives. You see, the public blames us. I don't know if we'll ever find employment again. Nobody will hire my wife, and I've been fired from a job I've had for 13 years. We may end up losing everything. When you took our little girl, you took our very lives. Why don't you give our little girl back before God's wrath descends on you? You've broken many hearts and more, especially an innocent 5-year-old girl's heart. One day, God will hold you accountable for this crime unless you do something to make it right. Please do the right thing and turn our daughter over to the authorities. We're begging you with all of our hearts. Please do the right thing." The letter is signed, Summer's father.
He also wrote a letter to Summer, and it reads,
"Since you've been gone, I've been completely devastated. I looked everywhere for you, my beautiful girl. I thought YouTube would be the most powerful tool to help find you, and perhaps it still could be. But at a price we may not be able to afford. Our family may not survive. I'm sorry, my beautiful girl, that I completely lost my mind. With so many thoughts of people harming you, and I know you want to come home, and there's nothing I can do. I'm powerless. So I ask God, please look over my precious daughter. We love her so much. We wish God you will return her to us as well as the boys. I would be so happy to be a family again."
Please remember, as always, everyone is innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. People have lots of opinions and feelings about this case. Please tell me your thoughts in the comments.
It's my prayer that someone comes forward and this beautiful little girl is recovered and found safe. Anyone with information about her disappearance is asked to contact the TBI at 1-800-888-8888. TBIFIND, or the Hawkins County Sheriff's Office at 432-272-7121. Tips can also be emailed to tips@tbi.tn.gov.
Thanks for watching my video. If you had fun, subscribe, and I'll see you next Sunday.